I want to encourage all brides to get some plastic surgery before you get married, even if it's just a little procedure. And it's not for the reason you're thinking. So let me explain. As soon as you get that ring on your finger, I want you to plan some plastic surgery and see what happens.
First off, if you feel you don't need surgery or you don't need enhancements in your body or your facial features or anything, first off, you have a massive ego. In a world of people who are doing these things to look better, you think you're the only person who doesn't need them and you look good enough how you are. You don't. Well, fuck. Small ugly tits and a small ugly ass are basically a genetic deformity, bitch.
So beauty standards and plastic surgery, two things that honestly a lot of us are kind of getting tired of. The more normal it becomes to completely change your face, the more tired people will get of trying to make themselves look like celebrities.
What things have you actually done?
I'm not sure if I can remember everything.
Because people are starting to believe, and have been for some time, that if you don't meet these beauty standards laid out by the big celebrities and social media, then you're just not pretty. You're not attractive. Sorry, honey, you missed the mark. That type of nonsense. And we're here to talk about just how ridiculous all of this really is. And I think many of you watching this, you probably already know that, but if there weren't people hurt and affected by this negatively, there wouldn't be a reason, really, to talk about it. So obviously, there's a lot of people. And this goes both ways. This affects men and this affects women in different ways. With men in particular, we've got, the annoying alpha male looks maxing gurus that are telling us you need to be ripped and look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or you'll never get a woman in your life. You can't be some scrawny little dweeb looking nerd like me. We don't pull women, except me, I guess, happily married. But anyway, that's the kind of things we're told, right? And women have got it even worse, honestly, because male beauty standards, it's not as mainstream, right? Most men just don't even care, right? They don't give a shit about beauty standards. They'll dress and look however the hell they want. And that's the kind of world that I would love for us to live in, where everybody felt comfortable doing that, just being themselves, dressing how they want, looking however they want, and not feeling pressured to look like a beauty queen 24/7, which is something we're going to see a lot throughout this video. And women have always had to live up to some standard of beauty. I mean, there's so many historical examples we could dive into. I mean, in Chinese culture, for instance, it was like, if you didn't look white as rice, then you were a failure and you weren't getting a husband. I mean, haven't you seen Mulan? In that opening scene where they're pampering her up and they're making her skin as pale as like humanly possible. It's like, you gotta look like that if you want a man. And sorry, if you don't get a man, then, well, you're useless. So it's like it came down to you looking pretty and meeting these beauty standards, or you were just a disgrace. And we've seen that type of thing in all types of cultures, and we're seeing it in American culture as well all the time. Everywhere you look, it's like a new celebrity got another surgery done, went under the knife again, and now they all look the same. You've got Instagram look and you got Mar-a-Lago look. Like, pick your poison, I guess, because if you don't fit into either camp, then I guess you're just not good enough according to these standards. Now, obviously, I believe that's a load of hot bullshit, right? If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be sitting down making this video right now. Now, if we're going to talk about, how this has negatively affected men and women, but especially women throughout the decades, and how things seem to only be getting worse right now. It's like they're getting more and more extreme. And you look at, some of the biggest celebrities like Ariana Grande or Miley Cyrus or Jenna Ortega, and it's like they're all getting the same plastic surgeries. Like, they're all starting to look like each other. And that's a scary, scary future I think we're headed towards. Now, I've had my own battles with insecurity, because a lot of the times, that's what it comes down to in many cases, is insecurity along with these standards. People not liking how they look. And most of my look related insecurities are far in the past, but doesn't mean I didn't struggle them. Most people around our age struggle with insecurities right now. Over 70% of women and over 60% of men, deal with insecurities of some variety, don't like certain things about their body or their face, whatever it is. And so when I was younger, fun fact, this is how I got the name The Curl King, which you'll see on my main channel, was I used to lift a lot of weights. And I did it for two reasons. One, I wanted to be fast on the track, which that paid off. And two, I wanted to have big muscles because I believed, according to the male beauty standards, or whatever you want to call them at the time, that if you didn't look like Brock Lesnar or Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Fit and Fearless or FitX Fitness guy, whatever, I don't know what this guy's name is, that fitness guru dude. If you didn't look like that, then sorry, you weren't getting a girlfriend. And yeah, I believed that. I thought that's how it worked. So I was like in the gym, busting my ass every day to put on muscles. And I eventually got the nickname The Curl King because that's like all I did. Because I was like, big biceps equal big relationships. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? That's because it was. That's because it was ridiculous. But it just shows that, like everybody else, I experienced that same type of misplaced, stupid insecurity. And one of the worst things I had to overcome when I was younger was being told by too many people, friends and family, just way too many people, that my skin was too dark. That my skin was too dark. Had me going on Google looking at how Michael Jackson turned himself white. That's the kind of thing that did to my psychology. Obviously, I grew out of that. Still struggle with certain things in these categories every now and then a little bit, but not nearly to the extent as when I was younger. And I think a lot of people can attest to that too, which is why this is disproportionately affecting younger people. And by younger people, I really mean, you know, us under the age of 30. And obviously, you know, you could still be older and still be affected by insecurities and things like that and maybe want plastic surgery. But just to give you an example, in Korea, plastic surgery, it's like it's a plastic surgery capital of the world or something. And it's, I believe, 1 in 5 women get some type of plastic surgery procedure going under the knife. So not just like filler or Botox, under the knife. 1 in 3 women between ages 19 and 29 get some type of serious plastic surgery, which is terrifying. But it shows how disproportionate it is for people in a younger age and how it has become increasingly more common due to obviously the access and the normalization of plastic surgery. Now, obviously, there are 101 reasons why somebody might get plastic surgery, and many of them being totally valid reasons. However, there are so many problems with a culture that normalizes it for very minor, if not completely negligible things, which is what we're really here to talk about today.
I just wanted to say I'm tired of trying to be cute, okay? Look at these scabs from removing my serum gomas again. It's the facial massages, the treatments, the lasers, the Botox, and it don't end there, you guys. There's lashes, there's hair, there's nails. I'm tired of trying to be cute, okay? And it's expensive. And you guys might be like, who cares? Don't get him done. Well, I'm insecure, okay?
So obviously this video isn't directly about plastic surgery. It's just about trying to meet these beauty standards, or in her case, the cuteness standards. And I can see how that might get exhausting, right? She gives a long list of things, and I guarantee you that list isn't even the half of it. There's probably a lot more that she does all the time to keep up with whatever standard it is that she is chasing. And it's these standards, the issue is that they don't really come from the person who's talking about it, right? It's not necessarily a standard she has created for herself. It's a standard that she has seen, right? All across the internet, all across celebrity culture. Maybe family and friends have pushed this upon her. Like, your hair doesn't look that good. Oh, your nails aren't done. Or, I don't know, your cheeks look a little bony or something. You know, things like that. Those types of comments that people make so casually they make towards people. And we live in this world where it's taboo to talk about someone else's body or their face, but then people go and do it anyway because they think, obviously, if you're on this person's inner circle, then or a family member especially, that you can say whatever you want. But when this type of language is put in front of you all the time, that your hair doesn't look good enough, or whatever it is about you isn't good enough, I don't like this about you, this sort of thing, that sort of thing kind of sticks with you, right? I mean, I've experienced that myself, like I mentioned already, and that sort of stuff did stick with me for a long time. And I imagine in many of these cases, they're experiencing the same or something very similar. And I think for this girl, yeah, she's fed up with it. She's tired. She would probably like to just get up in the morning, take a shower, brush her teeth, comb her hair, and go out and have that be fine, and not have somebody comment on her saying, "Oh, doesn't look like you have much makeup on today," or something like that. Now, with this clip, there is music over it, so I'm not sure if it's copyrighted. Probably is, usually is. So I'm not going to play it, but I just want to read what it says. She says, "Because some days I struggle so badly with my body image to the point where I can't even look at myself because I feel so ugly." Now, she just kind of just showcases herself, and she looks like she's fighting back tears. She's not happy, obviously. I know you don't need me to explain that. You can see it very clearly with your own eyes. I just feel like it's a little odd to have it playing silently there, so I apologize. Now, my comments about this is, this is where it all stems from, right? It starts with, I don't look good. I mean, honestly, usually it starts with comments of people maybe hinting at that or suggesting it. Usually it's family. A lot of cases for women especially, it's their own mothers or siblings possibly saying these things, or maybe even their own friends. Who knows? You know, it's a long list of possibilities. That's really where it starts from. But then it quickly progresses to this, of you completely losing all your positivity in your own body image, which is terribly sad. And if it wasn't for these ridiculous standards that we see perpetuated in our culture and by family and friends and people close to us, then you don't have nearly as much of this self-loathing that occurs about your own body. And you have more body positivity. I mean, I'm sure most of you would agree that she looks like just a normal, regular person, a normal, regular human being. And I think it would be a beautiful, wonderful thing if everyone obviously be happy with how they look. Now, I can understand if you have something about you that just really stands out that you just really don't like. Like, say you feel like your nose is too big, and that's your own personal belief, right? You're like, I just don't like my nose. I feel like my face would be 10 times cuter if I just had a different nose. That's a different type of like personal struggle, where if, getting plastic surgery would fix that insecurity for you and genuinely improve your life, and you're not trying to just meet some arbitrary, ridiculous beauty standard, then it's like, by all means, go do what you gotta do. There's no world where it should not be okay to do something like that for yourself. And again, that's not the point of this video. I already mentioned that there's always valid reasons for someone to seek out plastic surgery if they genuinely believe it would improve their life. I do want to say there are situations where someone hates themselves so much that perhaps instead of just getting completely, going to the doctor's office and window shopping for a brand new face, to instead maybe go to a different doctor's office and talk about what makes you feel so insecure about yourself, and see if maybe there's something that can be done on a mental and emotional level before going under the knife and having something completely changed and rearranged. Because there are people who undergo great plastic surgery, and by great, I just mean a lot of it, and they regret it because they don't even recognize themselves in the mirror. And that's a scary reality that I imagine people facing can be very traumatizing as well. Now, this wonderful, lovely woman here likes to encourage plastic surgery, and for a very superficial reason. And I can't even believe these words came out of her mouth, but I guess we'll have to see what everybody else thinks.
I want to encourage all brides to get some plastic surgery before you get married, even if it's just a little procedure. And it's not for the reason you're thinking. So let me explain. As soon as you get that ring on your finger, I want you to plan some plastic surgery and see what happens. So definitely do go through with it, but keep your eye on the family dynamics, the dynamics of your fiance and his family and your family, and how everyone is handling you as a bride, spending some time, spending some money on yourself. Figure out if you are getting pushback for even spending the money on yourself. Are you selfish? Is this a new behavior that you're really surprised that your fiance is now calling you selfish for spending any money on yourself? See if, as you are planning the surgery and telling them, I need your help, see if they come out and say, yes, whatever you want to do yourself, I fully support you. I think you're beautiful. I think you'll be beautiful before, with the surgery, without it. I am fully supporting you in your decision. I am going to take the time and actively plan to help you recover. Or if maybe that mother-in-law, that side of the family suddenly has an amazing emergency, which means that fiance has to be pulled back to care for his mother instead of caring for you. And then after the surgery happens and you're in recovery, who is stepping up? Is your fiance stepping up? Are they cleaning you? Are they walking you to the toilet? Are they keeping track of whether you need tea? Do you need anything when you're sleeping on the couch? Are you sleeping enough? Are they listening to all those post-op appointments and making sure that you are healthy? Or are they kind of like, oh, I have to go to work. Why are you focused so much about this? You should be better by now. All those things that you experience in this plastic surgery before your marriage are going to let you know how your life is going to be for the first 20 years of your marriage, especially if you have kids.
Okay, listen, I know sometimes my brain here doesn't compute certain things all that well, okay? But let me just get this one straight. So she is effectively saying that you should tell your man to spend possibly thousands of dollars on you to put yourself into the hospital, to have your face changed to something that is different from your current face, have it completely changed, put you in the hospital, put you under knife, put you to sleep, right? Just to find out how he reacts to that process. That's what you should do right before getting married. What? That can't be right. I have to be misunderstanding this. This can't be what she's saying, right? It can't be. I know. I'm coping. I know this is exactly what she's saying. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And this is the type of rhetoric that is put out there that is actually genuinely harmful and dangerous. When you're telling every bride out there that they should tell their man to get them plastic surgery, and if they don't get you plastic surgery, well, then obviously he's not good enough for you. He's not supporting you and your dreams and what you need to do. And this is going to be a reflection of the rest of your life. You can't get what you want out of this relationship. So therefore, you need to get another man. Or if he does decide to say, okay, here's my money, go get yourself some plastic surgery or whatever. And, you get your surgery and he suddenly is like, I'm not a fan of it, or whatever it is, or things get complicated because maybe they didn't want you to get the plastic surgery. Well, that's also going to highlight what the rest of your marriage is going to look like if he can't approve of you post plastic surgery and be there for you and take care of you and be like, yep, I'm your yes man for you. Then yeah, he's just not the one. Sorry, sister. Looks like you got a dud with this one. Yeah, that's horrible advice. That's absolutely terrible advice. First off, I don't think you should be encouraging anybody to get plastic surgery prior to their wedding. I think encouraging people to get plastic surgery when they don't necessarily want it already for themselves or don't need it is like some of the most harmful stuff you could say, right? That's a part of the whole normalization of like, oh, you need to get it. Oh, you should get it. Like, you shouldn't be encouraging people changing their faces to look exactly like each other. Like, one of the greatest things about, humanity is the fact that we are so damn different, right? We all have our differences. We have our different noses, our different eyes, our different cheekbones, different amounts of fat in different places, different body shapes, freckles, wrinkles, all types of blemishes, whatever you can think of, that's the kind of shit that makes people beautiful, obviously, that's what makes you unique, right? And not having that stuff, just stripping it out of society so everybody fits this perfect image is a dystopian nightmare to me. It's a dystopian nightmare to me. And she's doing this not even just as like to improve your life, sister. It's to Make sure that your man will support you when you inevitably want plastic surgery, because you're a woman, so it's inevitable. Of course, you're going to get plastic surgery, obviously. And then if he doesn't want to support it, then he's a deadbeat piece of shit. And you need to get rid of that man. Toss him to the trash. He's no good for you. Go find yourself a rich man, all right, that can take care of you like you should. I don't know. What kind of message is that? How is this ever a positive message? It's not. It's anything but a positive message. I can't imagine a worse message than this. This is manipulative, it's vile, and it's dangerous. There's really no better way to put this. But I don't want to harp on this for too long. We've got more to cover. And here's another major problem with these ridiculous beauty standards. It's that they change every decade or two, right? You've got people getting rid of their BBLs because, you know, about a few years ago, up until recently, it was the in thing. It was the hot, sexy thing to have a big ass. And nowadays, flat ass is in, right? That's the idea. Obviously, you know, I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who cares and pays attention to beauty standards, which I don't. I think all of that stuff is completely meaningless and very vain and ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. But that, what I said previously, is genuinely how people think. They pay attention to the changes in beauty standards, right? That's why so many celebrities are doing the buccal fat removal, like from their cheeks, so you know they're all like that now, or they're having their I forgot what the procedure is called, but the one where you like tightens your skin, they like pull it back so you like lose your like wrinkles and things like that. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. I could Google it, but I'll just leave it an open-ended mystery and somebody could tell me what it is. But that type of surgery, Botox is in, so in. It's all part of the anti-aging scheme. And it's also a part of the bigger thing of the whole beauty standard umbrella. But yeah, they change. They change on a dime, you know? And so it makes it difficult for your non-rich celebrities to keep up with the change, right? Maybe they got that BBL a few years ago, but now BBLs aren't that cool anymore, so they got to get rid of it. Well, now you've got to spend thousands more and risk your life again to have that surgery undone. And it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that these standards are, you know, they change, right? They change all the time. I don't know who's pulling the strings exactly, who's the puppet master behind the curtain, but I think most of it comes from those who influence, you know? They might change something about their look, some big person like, you know, Taylor Swift. Obviously, she's never gotten on board with the thick train or anything like that. And she's like the biggest celebrity right now. And she's always been huge, but in the last few years, she has just grown and grown and grown in popularity. Now she's a multi-billionaire. And so, yeah, people are like, you know what? The Taylor Swift look is in. Let me give that one a try. You know, let me get rid of the BBL. Let me get rid of the lip filler. You know, all these things. To fit whatever standard, whatever arbitrary nonsense standard becomes the norm. So what you'll see in this video is a woman who is contemplating getting plastic surgery because she doesn't like how her face looks.
I've been called ugly for my entire life. There was a period of time where I was waking up to thousands and thousands of hate comments every day. I'll never be everybody's cup of tea. I actually did something about my appearance in order to respond to a negative comment about my appearance. I have been relentlessly bullied by a lot of people in the Black Pill community. The BP community really wants me to leave social media, and they're pretty close to achieving that goal. This is honestly what you do to feel better about yourself? Yeah, but I'm kind, smart, thoughtful, and caring. I've accepted my appearance. Do you want my Pilates workout? That I am deserving of relentless cruelty, bullying, and mockery.
I hate bullying, right? I'm just gonna start there. Fucking hate bullying. I hate when people get attacked for their looks, for the way they think, for who they are, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I fucking hate it. You know, and I'll tell you guys a little story, right? I've hated bullying for like as long as I lived. In fact, I was bullied, kind of. I mean, people tried to bully me. I won't go into the details, but let's just say it never worked out in their favor. But there's been many times I remember in like elementary school, middle school, that I stood up for people who were being bullied all the time, because I saw it way too often. And like I just don't stand for that shit. I don't stand for it. I never have. And it's like one of the reasons why I make certain types of videos that I make, across my channels, where I address people who are like bullies on the internet in different types of ways. They harass people, they target people, they attack people, like Vegan Teacher. And some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't, but that's all right. So I hate it, absolutely hate it. And I feel like it's just so unwarranted. It's so unjust. Like, why are you feeling like you need to take out your own insecurities or whatever it is on someone else who has done nothing wrong to you? Like, I feel so bad for this woman. Like, she seems like a nice, sweet person. Definitely not someone who deserves to be bullied. The people who deserve to be bullied are the bullies. If anybody deserves to be bullied, it's the bullies themselves. But it's always someone who doesn't deserve it. And whether you think she is attractive or not, whether you think she's a foxy mama that fits your beauty standards, it doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter. And she doesn't need to know your opinion. There's no world where you should be making these types of comments for someone because you don't think they're attractive. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, who are you to judge them in that type of way? Like, get a life, you piece of shit loser. And I will say that it sucks. The people who aren't conventionally attractive might have a harder time finding somebody that wants to be with them or something like that. It's a fact of life, because people have their own standards of beauty or whatever it is. However, I guarantee you there are people out there that have seen her videos and said, she's hot. Just like dead ass, I guarantee you that. It's why there's the expression, beauty is in the eye of the fucking beholder. Okay, I added one of those words, but it doesn't matter. The point's still the same. I don't want to go off on like a crazy tangent here or anything, but she talked about some of like her personality traits, and I still think like if you're going to get into a relationship with someone, I would believe wholeheartedly that somebody would definitely find her attractive, like her personality traits as well, and actually just genuinely be a good match for her. And I think that's something as well for people who feel this way. It's something they also, I feel, need to understand too, that you don't have to meet these conventional beauty standards. You can be happy with how you look yourself. And I already said before, if changing something small about yourself would really make your life significantly better, then it's do what makes you happy, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And I'm sure as hell not going to judge. I have no right to, and nor does anybody else. Now, this woman here has a similar problem. In her case, she like really hates her nose. And I'll just let her talk about it.
Noticed how ugly my face looks, and I was like, why does it look so bad? Why does it look so ugly? And I mean, not gonna lie, this lighting makes it look worse, but it's my nose. It's definitely my nose. Like, look at that. It looks so much better without it. When I was like in school still, I'm on online school now. But when I was in school, they would tell me, they would laugh at me about my nose. Mainly about my nose. There was nothing else to really laugh about, but mainly about my nose. I also had really thick eyebrows. I have very masculine features, but fuck, leave me alone.
So obviously, like I already said, I'm always going to be in the camp of love yourself first before anything else, and again, this is just one of those situations where you feel like there's just one thing in your life would just improve everything for you. Then, do what you got to do. Do what makes you happy. That's all I'm going to say about that. I would learn to, I would encourage people first to try and, learn to just love themselves in their face and things like that if they can. And if it's an insecurity that you just can't get over, then always choose to do what makes you happy. Now, this shit we're about to observe is just crazy. There is a show that was around 2010 that literally glorified plastic surgery.
Do you remember this messed up reality show? Bridalplasty premiered on E! in 2010. It started with 12 women, and each week they would compete in wedding-themed challenges. One girl would get cut, and the winner would get one of the plastic surgeries on their wish list. Each week, the person recovering from the winning surgery would still have to compete and often end up in tears. The winner of the competition would get an all-expense-paid dream wedding and every surgery they wanted. And her husband-to-be wouldn't be able to see the results until the reveal on their wedding day. Overall, the show was very toxic, it got a lot of negative feedback, and only ran for one season. Here's a clip.
Every bride wants to look perfect on her wedding day, but some may need some extra help.
I think my best physical feature is probably my stomach. I have like a flat stomach, but that's like the only thing I really don't have a problem with.
Bro, these are literally all just very normal looking people. Like, I can't believe they're all on a show that the purpose of it was to get plastic. Like the goal, like the prize was like, yeah, you got a nice wedding, but the prize was plastic surgery. Like, what the fuck is that? No wonder the show only lasted one season. This is so wrong in so many levels. I can't believe this was even a thing. But this is a perfect example of why this kind of shit has just become normal. It's so normal, and it's only getting worse. It's not improving. It's not improving. Body positivity era, it like died a while ago. It seems like you're not hearing nearly as much about body positivity. You're hearing less about that and more about, hey, just go to a doctor and get a new face. Ugly? Like, what the fuck is that? And what's even more bizarre is that this disproportionately affects young women. And many of them, they undergo these surgeries before they've even like fully grown into their features, which is just bizarre. Now, we're going to look at some examples of some women who have undergone quite a bit of plastic surgery and then bring it all back and talk about it.
BBL, lip blush, Sculptra, breast implants, lip flip, under eye filler, Regeron, nose filler, fennel peel, full face Botox.
And this is where we just start dipping our toesies in the extreme territory of where we're looking at dozens of surgeries. Now, obviously with her, I don't think she was done. I don't think she was done. I think there was more to come. And this is the real scary camp here, when the plastic surgeries are so excessive that you're completely changing your physical identity to that of another human being. And it's concerning. It's concerning because it's encouraging young girls to do the same thing, to strive, to be able to afford a life or something where they can get all the surgeries they've ever wanted to look exactly like how they want to look. And I think this is really hurtful for all of us, everyone who is being influenced by this culture, men and women. It just disproportionately affects girls right now. And honestly, what we just saw is far from the worst of what I'm sure many of us have already seen. Now, it seems like this girl here allegedly invested $60,000 in her plastic surgery. So yeah, you can bet your ass when you see this transformation, you're going to see a completely different person. So we got Ariana Grande music playing in this clip, so I'm just gonna play it silent, and my face is still gonna be here, but yeah. Yeah, the before and after it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. Now, I'm not judging anybody that goes and does these things, but you could see just the pain in her face, right? This is the sad part, right? This is what I see as sad, is you could see the pain in her face with how much she doesn't like how she looks. And like, what's so bizarre to me is like, she's a very normal looking person. Like, I in my mind, I just don't see a world where it makes sense to look like a perfectly normal person and then want to just completely change how you look. Now, I know I'm not her, and I don't know how she feels, so I'm not going to try to pretend that my opinion really means anything. I'm just saying, like, from my point of view, you know, I just feel like looking like a normal person and wanting to completely change how you look is just not something that I would ever consider. But yeah, it's just a complete transformation. She's not even recognizable as the same person. She's not recognizable as the same person from the original clip. First off, I want to point out, my wife is the one that always puts these Sarah clips here. I think they're great. I think they're a wonderful part of these videos. And I don't think at this point, these videos are not complete without a Sarah Clate clip. So I don't think there's ever gonna be one that doesn't have one unless she doesn't have a skit for it. But she has a skit for everything. So like, I don't think it's possible. Anyway, enjoy.
I like your lips, thanks. I grew them myself. I can literally tell that you got lip injections. No, I didn't. Not everybody has paper thin lips like you. Influencers are so fake these days. Oh my gosh, I agree. That's why I'm so honest and real with you guys. Why'd you start a GoFundMe? You're literally rich. My last brand deal only paid me $200,000 and I have a trip to Turks and Caicos. I have to pay for that and I have to pay for the private jet to get us there. So I'm kind of struggling right now. You guys get on my nerves. You work jobs, but you still struggle too. Just like I have a job, but I still need help financially sometimes. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Obviously, this is a great commentary on exactly what we've been talking about, the culture that has been perpetuated by influencers and celebrities and these beauty standards and looks maxing coaches. I mean, all of this goofy nonsense. And I think that it's super important for people to spread awareness about this kind of stuff and talk about how this shouldn't be the standard, how this shouldn't be normalized, right? There's not enough counteracting the normalization of this. So of course, susceptible men and women are going to adhere to these types of standards if they have insecurities, or, you know, they want to, you know, fight anti-aging, or they just want to look like what they believe, you know, based off of what the internet tells them is the beauty standard, you know, big lips and buccal fat removal, or whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. A lot of them are doing that right now. But it's also led to some regrets. We've got some BBL regrets.
I want to know how many of us are regretting their BBLs. Are we regretting it, or are we wanting another round? Do we need to fix it? Tell me how you feel about your BBL or your body procedures. I would love to know. I would love to know.
Just want to say, I got mad glutes just by going to the gym. All right, no BBL required for me. But yeah, this one's a fairly common one nowadays, and this one's terrifying too, because the actual surgery itself is life-threatening, potentially could kill you. It has killed people. It's one of the most dangerous forms of plastic surgery, but it's also probably one of the biggest plastic surgeries that women especially get nowadays. Now, men do it too. I mean, fucking James Charles had a BBL done. Yeah, so it's nobody's safe from the BBL boogeyman coming to get you in your sleep, so better watch out for it. All right, so here we have a story titled, "I regret my plastic surgery." This is definitely going to get buried under thousands and thousands of other posts, but I have absolutely no one to talk to about this, and it's been weighing very heavily on my chest. Growing up, I saw my mother get plastic surgery and how normalized it was for her. Don't like something? Fix it. I got my nose done and I deeply regret it now. It's not filler, it's something irreversible done to my face. I used to have my natural nose. Yes, it was weirdly shaped and I had a deviated septum, but it was my natural nose. Now I have an implant and haven't pinched or moved my nose with my finger since getting the surgery a year ago because I'm scared I'll mess it up. I feel stupid for not telling the surgeon I didn't want a silicone implant. I wish I didn't hate myself so much to the point of unnecessarily going under the knife and permanently changing a part of myself. I wish I had someone close to me I could confide in before going and getting plastic surgery to persuade me not to do it or support me through it. I got the surgery all alone, and I was alone during the recovery in a whole other country. No one knows I did it. No one even noticed. The only thing I can do now is vow to never change anything about myself and learn to love myself. People don't see you the way that you do. People do not nitpick your looks like you do when you look in the mirror. You do not need to change your looks permanently. Cultivate your personality. Take care of yourself. Do not do something that you're going to regret. Live for you, live for your happiness, not for other people's approval. But yeah, plastic surgery regret is a fairly common thing, and I feel like it's becoming more common the more normal plastic surgery gets. There's a lot of things that people regret, and this is just one of many. And obviously, I think what's driving people to go out and get a surgery that they don't necessarily want in the first place is a lot of these pressures from these standards, influencers, celebrities. I mean, people making it seem like not looking like Kim Kardashian or Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter or something like that, then you're just not hitting the mark. Try again, you know? Go get your face fixed. That sort of ridiculous nonsense. But anyway, that's really it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. See you all next time.